Hello everyone and welcome back to Dota Underlords. Today I've got some wonderful news for you because yesterday, on Thursday, January the 30th, we finally got another Underlord, or another Underlord as it says right here. So the name of the Underlord is Enno. He was long anticipated. It's basically a tiny little beast dude who is super cute, super hilarious, and super unintelligible. So he jumps around, he can steal items from enemies, and he has some insane levels of crowd control. Let's discuss him a bit further by going right here. So his title is Scavenger King. I thought it was supposed to be tribal leader according to teasers that I saw on Reddit, but apparently not. A furry jerk with the chip on his shoulder, Enno will use every dirty trick in the book if it means he can run White Spire. So he has two fighting styles, just like every other Underlord. One of them is called Rabid Furball. Enno lassos the enemy team and poisons them. So this guy, by default, he stands there and shoots people. With his dart gun right here. He doesn't do that much damage, but what he does do is constantly apply poison. He basically every like 3 or so seconds he has this death spin attack where he spins around and applies poison to every enemy that gets hit. And the radius of those darts is, I'm pretty sure, three cells around him. It's basically a lot of AoE damage. It doesn't seem like much, especially considering, the whole poison thing. Poison is a new type of debuff. You can see right here, poison units take 15 physical damage per second, and healing is reduced by 10% for 5 seconds. Poison effects can stack up to 5 times, so basically, if the target has been fully poisoned with 5 stacks, it's going to receive 50% less healing, and it's going to take, 75 physical damage per second. Yeah, so that's what he does. That's his basic ability. His ultimate, in this Rabid Furball style, is called All Out Attack, where he lassos his enemies. Right here, you can see it, it's absolutely insane. Launches them all into the air, so the whole enemy team is basically going to get stuck, like this, suspended in the air. He does a whole bunch of damage to them, and they get completely tossed around, and they just go all over the place, like this. You can see right here, boom, see? This is a very powerful ability, and especially useful. It seems the developer specifically tailored Enno to a lot of complaints people had about, first of all, how corner comps are too strong, because this absolutely destroys them. Suddenly they are no longer in the corner, but instead all over the place. And second of all, healing reduction is something that has been discussed a lot, because right now all we have for healing reduction is assassins. And assassins in general, they are extremely RNG based units in a game that is already fairly RNG heavy. So a lot of people are expecting assassins to get reworked sooner than later, because they can get quite obnoxious indeed. Also, interesting thing you can see right here, the axe on this shot right here. You see the axe is spinning. Yep. See, like right before Enno launches his ability, the axe is spinning. So does this mean there's an axe rework coming, or is there an item that could allow him to get the spin ability? That is going to be very interesting. See right here, spin. Yep. This ability in Dota 2 is called Counter Helix, and it basically just he has a chance to spin when attacked, and does physical damage all around him. So looking forward to see exactly what this is all about. I'm guessing this is going to be the change in the future update, but more on that a bit later. So anyway, the other fighting style is called Healing and Stealing. Enno heals his crew and still steals items from his enemies. So yeah, you can see right here, actually his ultimate ability is called Yoink, where, see, right there you can see, at first, when combat starts, right as the combat starts in fact, he takes the lowest tier item from the enemy team, so usually it's going to be a tier 1 item of some sort. But then, if another enemy dies within Enno's attack range, he's going to grab their item as well. So, over the course of the fight, he can grab a lot of items and basically get a lot of utility from that. And yeah, but it also seems like when he steals the first item, you know, this lowest tier thing, the hero that had the item stolen from them actually still keeps it, so it's less like stealing and more like copying in that sense. But yeah, anyway, the basic ability is called Dr. Enno's Soothing Bomb. Enno leaps into the air, same thing, shoots a flurry of poison darts, except in this case, the poison darts, I think, first of all, he poisons fewer enemies, because in the case of this ability, I'm pretty sure he poisons everyone who gets hit. In this case, he only poisons 3 enemies with those darts, and then after that, while the enemies are being damaged by the poison, allies around Enno are being healed, and it seems like they're being healed from the damage dealt by the poison. So, a bit of a lifesteal mechanic in there. And then, yeah, this is pretty much it. There have been some small balance changes as well. As you can see right here, Barrels of Fun, basically abilities that interacted with spiderlings in weird and unintended ways, such as Barrels of Fun hitting spiderlings, or Implosion, Hopkins Implosion, the ability that deals more damage to one target, and Shockwave as well. Basically, it would decrease the damage if it hits spiderlings as well, and now it no longer does. So that's great. That should have been there in the first place, honestly, because, you know, those spiderlings are so tiny. Like, I'm pretty sure most abilities that have like skill shots that you know hit can physically collide with other units, or abilities that, you know, factor in multiple units, they should not factor in spiderlings. That was pretty clear since the day the Insect Alliance was released, and they are, you know, gradually they're making it work as intended. Unit changes. Venomancer, Venomous Gale, now applies poison to his targets. So I think what they did was basically instead of what it did before, like, you know, damage over time and all that, instead of fixed damage over time, it now applies the same poison effect. So the damage is going to be, you know, this physical 15 per second and stacks multiplicatively. So he only applies it with Venomous Gale, not with his regular attacks. So that is also something to watch out for. Blade Mail fixed bonus armor arrow, that's bug fixed, more than a balance change. Orb of Venom also now applies poison instead of applying damage, so everything here, all these things are also a counter to healing. So yeah, don't forget about that. And Orb of Venom, you know, applying poison means it can stack up to 5 times. Previously, Orb of Venom wouldn't stack with itself, you know, reapplying the debuff would just refresh the duration, but now it also stacks as well. And yeah, Brute's another issue, where Bruce could switch targets mid-swing, that's whatever. Again, more of bug fixes than balance changes. But the biggest news, or I shouldn't say the biggest news, but they really are, is very important here. So this, right here, the Enno update, is going to be the last major update before like they say here, before we come out of early access and ship Season 1. So, Season 1 is coming out on February 25th, and this is the last major content update before that. So, Season 1 will, of course, bring, you know, new features, so the City Crawl mode, which is basically a single-player campaign, you know, an actual battle pass with a lot of, like, cosmetic rewards and all that kind of stuff. Because, you know, the stuff we have right now is obviously temporary. And, of course, a new hero and item rotation. So, yeah, if you haven't reached, like, your target rank, you know, be it Big Boss or Lord or whatever, right now would be a great time to do it. Because you've still got a month ahead of you before the rankings are reset. So that's really nice. And also, like they say right here, keep an eye out for February's PC Gamer issue, because they will be running a cover story on the upcoming Underlords release, and we'll have more information about Season 1. So Watch out for that. Definitely keep a lookout. As you can see right here, the picture right here is hilarious, you know? you can see Enno climbing on top of Jal, trying to, you know, probably steal something from him. And then Jal, in his rage, he apparently just is trampling Hobgen underfoot, and then an Essex just watches from the sidelines, like, pretty much like she had caused all of this. So, looks great. Yeah, I can't wait to read that stuff. Maybe I will even record the video reaction to it. We'll see about that. Pretty big news. My first impressions of Enno, well, for now it seems like the crowd control ability, the rapid furball style, is kind of superior to the healing and stealing, because, you know, that crowd control is absolutely insane. You know, stunning the whole enemy team, doing damage to them, and then repositioning them as well, is basically like a massive Sand King ultimate, which completely, you know, can completely flip the board. It's absolutely massive. Like, yeah, healing and stealing, obviously nice, brings a lot of utility, but you know, I don't think it matches like anywhere near what this ability can do. Because look at this. I also should have some footage to run in the background while I'm talking, and you'll see what I mean. This ability is absolutely insane. In terms of what exactly Enno does, it seems like, you know, how every Underlord has a theme applied to them. You know, like Jal is obviously a tank. Hobgen is damage, and Essex is a healer / support, and also with a bit of a summoning thrown in. And Enno seems like a utility / crowd control kind of guy. You know, he reduces healing, he stuns enemies. Oh, also, very importantly, I don't think it says anywhere here. Whenever Enno is reduced below 75%, 50%, or 25% health, he does the same thing he did here. So he just shoots a grappling hook out and flies away, and then he lands on another cell on the board. While he's doing that, while he's flying away and while he's landing, he stuns the enemies around him. Looks like Enno is utility and crowd control mostly. You know, all of those stuns from grappling hooks, all of the healing reduction, and all of those, you know, stealing items, stunning, big stun with his ultimate. Yeah, it seems like his theme is utility, but I think most importantly, what he is fun. Like, this guy is a lot of fun, you know, watching him fly around like crazy, watching, you know, this ultimate work. It's magic watching him, you know, giggle as he steals his items. By the way, he's like a mini Chewbacca. He doesn't actually speak English. He speaks like his own language, which consists of grunts and growls mostly. And it's really funny to watch, even though, you know, he has those voice emotes, voice responses that you can activate on command, like any other Underlord. But in his case, they are completely unintelligible, so he's like a mini Chewbacca. Yeah, so watching him do all this crazy stuff, and watching it, you know, work his magic, but yeah, most importantly, it's a lot of fun. Like, you know, Jal was kind of, compared to Enno, Jal looks just really, really dull, honestly. Because, you know, he just stands there, you know, drinks from his cup, and then he sits in his chair, or like throws some booze into the air or something, and this guy just flies around, friggin' lassos the whole enemy team, shoots those poison darts everywhere. It's complete insanity. So yeah, I'm really happy to see him finally arrive. And I'm really happy for the game, you know, considering the fact that it's approaching its release slowly but steadily. I personally haven't reached Lord yet. I've been stuck in Big Boss. As you know, if you've watched my other videos, I've been stuck in Big Boss for like 3 months now, or something. But, you know, I think I'm approaching closer and closer, so this month, for me personally, is going to be a big goal of finally reaching Lord. At least reaching Lord. I'm not sure about the numbers, like maybe top 1000, top 500, whatever, but I am definitely hoping that I can finally reach Lord and, you know, provide more high-quality content, so to speak. Anyway, look out for more Enno videos very soon. I'll definitely make some ranked gameplays, definitely try some different crazy builds, if those exist, and if, if those can achieve at least something. And yeah, but this is going to be it for this video. So if you enjoy what you're seeing, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you all in the next one very soon. So goodbye, and take care, everybody.